good evening. Thank you for coming out, everybody. This is a really difficult time for both myself and Aston Villa, but I think football in general as well. Sorry. I'm not quite sure how to say this. At the end of the season, we will be losing a legend, not just of the club, but also of my heart. I can't believe I'm going to say this. At the end of the year, a god becomes mortal. When Mile... I'm fine. Mile Jedinak is going to be retiring. Oh God, he's only 36. Why is he being taken so soon? Why? Mile Jedinak is retiring at the end of the year, everybody. I'm sorry, I just can't. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villa and welcome to episode 27 of Raise the Holte, our bid for world domination with Aston Villa, and today it's the festive fixtures. Now before we get into that, just take a moment, digest the news. I know it's devastating for everybody. I mean, me most of all, I'm assuming, because you get to know your players so well, but to lose the great man at such a young age is just absolutely... I thought he'd be going to at least 45 if I was honest. But he's decided to call it a day and we will have to live with that. Now today we are playing Manchester City and Swansea City, as I said in the festive fixtures. Manchester City 4th, that's going to be tough. Swansea 12th, maybe a little bit less tough, but we'll see how we go there. Now since last episode where we won the derby against Wolves, got a sneaky draw at Stamford Bridge, we have played 3 games and you can see we've started to score some goals. We've done nothing but attack training, I'll be honest, and it's maybe showing in the against column a little bit. But we played Brighton first up, and this was a good performance. We scored goals, and apparently we had a bet that we were going to win this game 3-1, because if we have a look here at the match stats before we get too carried away. AR with his first for the club, I think. Bothheim and Markovic with the goals. Look at those. We played really, really well. Really good match stats. We were absolutely dominating the game. But yeah, I think there was a bet we were going to win 3-1 somewhere in the clubhouse. Because this happened at 3-0 up with 2 minutes to go. It looks like we're on the attack here, doesn't it? We're doing well. We scored 2 goals in the first minute, as you can see up there. We've been flying the whole game. Just sort of play it out, boys. Just play it out. There's no need to do anything stupid here because we're winning 3-0. Let's just be sensible. No? Okay. And that's how we conceded a goal. Not quite sure what happened there. I don't know if AR was expecting Livakovic to stay out of his net. I don't know if Livakovic... I don't know what happened. But anyway, someone in the clubhouse has won a bet because that's the only explanation, isn't it? Then we played Stoke. This was 2-1, as you can see. We're at home again. You can see we went down, and this was 0 at half-time. We went down, and we responded really, really well. Chambers got his first for the club. Junpi in the 90th minute got the winner. But Omar Abdulrahman is injured, and it's another bad one for Omar. I think it's 5. It's a season end. I think it's about 5 months. I think it was his Achilles. I think that's his 3rd serious injury he's had while he's been with us. So we might need to reconsider his long-term future at the club. Then we played Everton 4-2. Now this was 4-0, and then we kind of clocked off a little bit. You can see they got 2 late goals. It was an own goal that was all about Bothheim, I think it was. Marin, McGinn and Bothheim did actually get on the score sheet. You can see we did okay in the match ratings. The match ratings actually really, really fell those last 10 minutes because we just clocked off. They went down to 10 men as well, which did help, to be honest. But it was the 63rd minute. We got 2 goals after that. So we're already relatively in control of it. Lazar Markovic picked up an injury, and that one again, it's about a month. So in the space of 2 games, we lost 2 of our first-choice wingers, which was difficult to cope with. If we look at what that's done to the league table, and you will see that we are 5th, but we're only 5 points behind Manchester City. Now, should we beat Manchester City here, which is a big if, a massive if, we'd only be 2 points behind them, and maybe we start to look a little bit up rather than down. But as things stand, I think very much we'll do well to stay ahead of Manchester United. I'm a little bit concerned Chelsea's going to come good at some point. But we should have a big enough gap. That's 11 points. We should be able to maintain that. But yeah, so we it's kind of like the Europa League last year, isn't it? Well, they're just keeping us interested in that 4th spot. The rest of it was kind of, I think they're gone. They're good teams, being consistent and running away with it. But Manchester City perhaps just stumbling, and we could perhaps with a win here just interest ourselves in 4th place. But I think this year is a little bit more about just making sure that we get into European football so we can start and get more game time and get more players in and improve the young players with game time. This is the team we're sending out. It's Livakovic in goal. It's Target, Chambers, AO and Breeze are back 4. Tonali, McGinn. Cochrane's playing because, Jack Grealish has picked up just a little bit of a knock. He maybe could have played this game, but we'll keep him fresh for Swansea because really we want defensive players in this one, don't we? It's Nick Roberts. He comes in to play down the right with Markovic and Omar injured. Marin down the left, and Junpi is a deep lying playmaker, hopefully to try and get possession for us. Alright, here we go, and you will notice that today's game at Villa Park, we're all wearing black armbands in sort of support of Mila Jedinak and the end of his illustrious career. It's not ended yet, of course, he still has the end of the season, but we can see the way City's lining up very much man for man with us. Now, what do we say to this? Don't get hammered. This opportunity to show the pundits why they've been right to back you up. We'll try it. We'll try. We've really got nothing to lose here, do we? If we go out there and even if we play to our best, and Manchester City come out and play anything like their best, we could still get beaten. So let's just see how we do. It's good to hear the Villa fans in solidarity with Mila Jedinak. He's going to be missed, isn't he? He's really going to be missed. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Take a draw right now. I'll throw it out there. I'll take a draw. Just keep us interested. What do you want to say? You want to probably say get creative. Keep that gap at 5 points. They're not in the best form, Manchester City, as would be suggested by the fact that we're catching them. So if we can get a draw here, keep it at 5 points, let them choke against other teams. Here's Harry Cochran. Oh, decent efforts. We're going to start with Harry Cochran, and if he doesn't play well, then we do have Doyle Hayes on the bench, so we'll look to bring him on. Here's Jumpy with the corner. Oh! He's such a good player in the air, and him and Callum Chambers, we've been working a little bit on attacking set pieces as well. We need goals, basically. We just need a source of goals. Here's another chance for Junpi. He's a good free kick taker. It's back in. It's plucked by Edison from the skies. So we've been scoring a few. AR and Chambers, you did notice they both got goals in that last sort of gap in between episodes there. Long ball up for Bernardo Silva. There's a man going to the back post. Bree's there. It's a terrible header. James Bree. Oh, dude. What was that? What was that? In front of the Holte end as well. You should be ashamed of yourself. There was nothing on. And to be fair to James Bree, he positioned himself really well. And then he just nodded it down for him. It's an assist for James Bree. It's a perfect knockdown. That's really annoying. It's really, really annoying. Alright, let's not worry about that. Come on. We've looked good up until that point. Are we going to crash and burn now? De Bruyne knocks a free kick in. It's Sane. Don't let Sane beat you in the air. That's ridiculous. Come on. Can we put a bit of pressure on here? The highlight's going to continue. Back post, Sane. It's a bad miss. It's a really, really bad miss. Come on, boys. Let's... it's all going wrong. We've conceded a goal and we've given them confidence. That's all that's done. Oh, James Bree. Come on. Don't you love my confidence? It's suddenly like, we're going to get smashed. I mean... A part of me just thinks at this point, just protect the goal difference, boys. Protect the goal difference. It might come in handy later on. That was the annoying thing about the 2 late goals against Everton too, is that it turned a really good goal difference day, not quite sure what that was, into like a little bit of a disappointment, to be honest, because what should have been a +4 was just a +2. But it was against Everton, and obviously they're a good team, so it's not all bad there. We're just not really doing anything here, are we? We'll give it a demand more after this highlight, I think. We'll just wait and see what comes of this. It looks as though it's not going to be a highlight for us, though. I'm wondering if we need to go a little bit more attacking. Junpi is a deep-line playmaker. We don't really seem... It's a decent header from AR, but it's just fallen for Sane. Come on, boys. Come on, get a block in. Oh, he's done well, but he just got beaten. And Bernardo Silva. Suddenly... It's looking a little bit grim, isn't it? Alright, let's go attacking. We started so well too, didn't we? And just... That can happen, can't it? You give away a goal, and either we've dropped off, or they've perked up. He's got to win that ball target, doesn't he? He's got to win it. I mean, it's difficult using the penalty area, so we can't just sort of clean him out. Was it offside? It didn't look offside, I'll be honest. No, not even close. I mean, it's been relatively even. It has been relatively even. Okay, so what do we say to that? Obviously we're not happy, so we'll go aggressive. Just want to see a better performance. Seems to have got a reaction. So let's send them out there. We do, of course, have Brian Carlos on the bench. We could look to bring him on. yeah, I'm wondering if, given where we are, we need to chase this game, don't we? So we might look to maybe bring Carlos on for. What if we do it for Harry Cochrane? There's a chance here for Nick Roberts. Can we make an epic comeback in front of the Holte, even though it's the away end, which it bugs me every time we play a home game. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, does it? Bernardo Silva's on the run again. It's there. Oh, how have we let him so open? Okay. This is going horribly wrong. So we're going to do what any good manager would do and go more attacking. It's just, something there's not working. I don't know what it is that's not working, so we're going to make that change. Brian Carlos comes on to play as an advanced forward. I'm going to put Tonelli up there. It still plays a deep-lying playmaker. No, we'll leave him as that. And the other thing we might do we drop even deeper? We're getting done, aren't we? We're getting done, so we might need to do that. And let's see what we can do. We have faith in old Brian to come on and make the difference here for us. They're playing well. We are not playing well. Let's give them some encouragement, maybe. Is that going to just disinterest everybody? No. Oh, we're getting ripped to pieces. Absolutely torn to shreds. I think the black armband might need to be in memory of this game as much as it is Mila Jedinak. Or our chances of a top 4 spot. If this is the difference between us and the top 4, then we have a long, long way to go here. Maybe a little bit too much work on attacking play in training before these games. Maybe that hasn't helped. Come on, boys. Let's show. Well, they're showing passion, so that's not the problem. It's just a demand more case, isn't it? De Bruyne pings one. Livakovic has done well to tip that over. Probably a save you'd expect him to make, to be fair, but it looked good, didn't it? Wait. Livakovic just got that. I wasn't quite sure what happened there. Let's give it a demand more. Come on, boys. We are better than this. I mean, we're not world beaters, but we are better than this. Alright, let's make some subs here because it's not working. Let's bring on... who we want to bring on here? Andre Green for Marin. We'll save Marin's legs. He's not having a good game. And let's bring on Jake Doyle-Hayes for McGinn. McGinn, again, not having a good game, so let's give Doyle-Hayes a chance. I'd love to just get a goal, just a nice consolation, just to thank the fans for coming. Come on, let's get creative here. Come on, boys. This is really frustrating. We've been playing so well. And to be fair, it's a relatively even game. They've just obviously created better chances than we have. And that is the difference. And there goes the full-time whistle. Well, that was horrible. Who was it? Bree. Yeah, that header, Bree. That wasn't good. We have to be honest with him. That wasn't good. The whole team, I'm just going to say I'm not happy. I'm not going to be angry at them. There's no point in that. Bree, we might just... That mistake was really bad, dude. And it was poor finishing. I don't know if it was our poor. I think it was just their good finishing. Perhaps that made the difference. Brian Carlos finding it tough. Just relax, mate. Relax. The goals will come. The goals will come. Well, we have a 2K break and we're back to play Swansea. So we'll pick ourselves up and we will go again. Okay, welcome back. We're going to Cardiff. We're going to Swansea City. We're going to Wales. You can see we have a decent record against them. I mean, they've never beaten us so far, but that's maybe just sort of asking for trouble, isn't it? They are the favourites for this one. Maybe expecting us to be a little bit low on confidence after that pounding that we just took from Manchester City. Not very festive, was it? Hopefully we'll be able to improve things here. Now, as I mumble on, with the festive fixtures, that of course does mean that transfer window is just around the corner. Now, a few things I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on is who or where do we look to sign? Now, I'm going to be honest, we have a lot of players right now, but they're young players, so we can kind of get away with it. I'm thinking the one area that we could perhaps strengthen is perhaps in midfield. Now, I want to get your opinion. Now, we know that the great man is leaving us. Oh, it just breaks my heart every time. He has signed a contract, I should say. He's now also an under-18s coach. When he came to me wanting a contract that included that, writing was kind of on the wall, but you can see I've got to let him go. Now, the unfortunate thing is that his attributes for coaching are awful, absolutely awful. He's determined, and he has a high level of discipline. He can mentally coach someone. He can show them to jog around the field. That's about it. That's pretty much all he has. So whether he's going to end up being an assistant manager for us or not, that's the dream. That's his dream. It's my dream. I'm just not sure it's a reality. Ever going to happen. But let's not worry about Millet because, as I said, he has announced his retirement. So this is what we have in midfield. Tish Bowler wants first team football. we can't really give it to him, not the level he wants. So he's probably going to be leaving it in the transfer window. So fair enough, we can deal with that. So we have in midfield, we have Jack Clark, decent, solid. We haven't really given him a massive chance, but I'm not quite sure he's up to it. Tonali is a wonder kid. He is good. We've got a really good player in our hands with him. John McGinn, we know he's good. We don't have to worry about him. Harry Cochrane, again, I think he's going to be really good. He's only 19, and I think he's fine to good. Jack Doyle Hayes Doyle Hayes is another one here. I think he's okay. So I wouldn't necessarily want to get rid of him. Callum O'Hare, I have worries about. He's pretty much playing at his full potential, and I don't think he's going to be good enough for us. He's not really a creative player. He's not really a winger. He's not really a striker. I don't really know what to do with him, if I'm honest, and I don't think he's going to make it for us. And the rest of the players there are all more attacking players. So I'm wondering if we could do with, if O'Hare's not going to make it, Abdul Rahman, you can see he's gone for 5 months. He's not going to be reliable for us, it looks like. If we could do with like another attacking midfielder, if we could get somebody else in midfield, and maybe... I think if you look at long-term players, we have Tonali, McGinn, Cochrane, Doyle Hayes. We could maybe do with somebody else in there, and are they all going to make it? I don't know. I'm looking for your opinion on this one, guys. What should we do in the transfer window? I think we're well served at central defence. We're fine at fullback. If anything, we have too many central defenders, actually. We can maybe get rid of one or two of them and be okay. But who wants Livakovic? Arsenal, Manchester United, and Swansea. Okay, Arsenal, Manchester United I can understand. Swansea, that seems like a bit of a sideways step. But speaking of Swansea, let's go and have a look at the team we're sending out. Now, bear in mind, it has just been 2 days, so we've had to change a few things without necessarily wanting to. It's Livakovic in goal. Mobida comes in down the left. Chambers, Aya, and Gumni. Breed needs some time to think about that header. That was ridiculous. It's going to be McGinn and Cochrane in midfield. Roberts, Jumpy, and Marin, hopefully providing the ammunition for Botheim to fire home. Just a little bit too soon for Grealish. This one hasn't quite regained fitness yet. Another bit of news that's happened since last episode. Third round of the FA Cup. We've got Wolverhampton. I think it's at home, so that's a positive. But yeah, so that's what we have to look forward to there. What do we say? I mean, we're not the favourites. Go out there, enjoy playing with no pressure on you. We'll fire them up with a bit of passion that we have faith. And I think we should be favourites for this, I'll be honest. But we need to rebound, don't we, from that City result. And here we go. Yeah, we do need to win this game. Manchester United did win their game on Boxing Day, so that means that we are now down to 6th. Stoke is right behind us. Whether Stoke, I think they would be newly promoted this year, because I don't think they came up with us. So whether Stoke has the ability to sort of stick with it all season is maybe debatable, but we need to worry about us, and we need to make sure that we're keeping touch with Manchester United, if no one else. The gap to City now in the top 4 is, 7 points, I think. So that's probably gone, but it wasn't really realistic to start with anyway, I don't think. Alright, here's Junpi and Gumni showing that they can pass to each other, which is good. Gumni goes long for Botheim, I'm assuming. Botheim is there. Can he put some pressure on? That's not going to be the highlight. Marcus Rojo's at Swansea. So this makes me a little bit nervous now. These long highlights tend to end badly if you don't have the ball. I'd say that's well defended. Good pressure, didn't give him an angle to shoot from, and yeah, we did okay there. Alright, here we go. This is more like the sort of the field we want highlights to be starting in. McGinn picks up that header. Switches play very poorly, but Mobida's there, Albrighton with a poor header. We haven't seen Mobida for a while. As you can see, his match fitness isn't great, but Target just needs a rest. And Mobida was so good for us last year that we're not going to write him off, because he had a bit of a slow start to the season. Chambers goes long. And again, we're just looking as though this is going to be a long highlight where we don't have the ball at the vital part of it. Some of these Swansea players are looking tired, so that might be something we can capitalise on later in the game if we can sort of keep it close. We don't want to be falling behind here, though, do we? They're passing it around nicely. There's too much space there. Too much space for Andre Ayew, and he's put it away. Are we defending? No, we're defending with width. I don't understand what that's all about then. We'll give this a show some passion, but that's not ideal. Not ideal at all. We were playing so well between episodes. We were dominating our opposition. We were scoring goals. I come back, and all you guys see is the rubbish again. Alright, come on, boys. Let's fire up here. Bartholomew's picked up an injury. Well, that can only mean one thing. Brian Carlos. I don't know what sort of injury it is, or maybe I should check that. Is it a serious one? Is it something a potential knee injury? No, we probably shouldn't muck around with that. All right, Brian, let's get you off the mark here. Come on, let's demand more. Let's try demand more here. Brian's on a booking, looking anxious. That's troubling. Let's go attacking. Come on, boys. Come on. Remember your training. Remember your training. We were doing so well. So I feel like we're not actually doing that bad. Do I say unlucky at half time? They've only had one shot on target, and they've happened to score it. I think we will. We're looking frustrated and anxious. We'll say unlucky. That seems to have worked. Just tell Brian, don't get yourself sent off here, mate. And we'll go again. The problem with the Grealish, Markovic, and Omar injuries is that we really are looking a little bit thin in attacking areas now. Now, Grealish should be back for the FA Cup game, so that should be fine. Jumpy's looking a little tired. All right, here's Marin from a free kick. Go on, Marin. Marin, no! Antonio Marin! Somewhat out of the blue, but we will take that. That is 1-1, and boy, oh boy, do we need something. Hopefully now we can do like what Manchester City did, and just continue on and go on a bit of a rampage. Goalkeeping questionable, I think, is the headline from that goal, if I'm honest. But come on, boys, fire up. Let's do this. Jumpy is looking tired. We do have Labadovic, who can play in behind. I'm wondering if we perhaps look to do that, or do we look... You know what we might look to do, actually, given that's a bit of a lungy tackle, but Cochrane's won it. Let's get rid of it now. It's we're not passing well. Whenever we see a highlight, we're not passing well. I'm wondering if we bring Jake Doyle-Hayes on and just play sort of a flat 3 in midfield. Come on, let's get to that first. We do. Gumni to Mobida. Mobida goes long. Brian Carlos with a decent flick on there for Nick Roberts. All right, can we do something from this? Nick Roberts gets the cross in deflected. Jumpy! As my voice breaks, apparently is a man in his mid-30s. There we go, we've turned it around. That was a really good goal. A nice cross from Nick Roberts. Well done, son. And let's not forget the flick on from Brian Carlos as well. Look at that. That is absolute class. Nick Roberts takes a touch. No, he doesn't. Just first time deflected in, and Jumpy does not make a mistake. That is what we like to see. Let's give it a demand more. Let's go again, boys. Let's go again. Now we will make that change for Jumpy. Because he's looking tired. We've got ourselves in the lead, and it might be a time to just start and think about preservation. I can't really play back there. Alright, that's fine. We'll go with a flat 3. We'll drop him back in as an advanced playmaker on support. That works. Leaves us a sub up our sleeves if we need it as well, which I like. Good opportunity for Jake Doyle-Hayes to make an impact here too, isn't it? We will just go back off attacking as well. We don't need to do that, or do we? Or do we? Come on, boys. Let's defend this, please. Let's defend this. Easy for Livakovic in the end. Now, that surely wasn't the highlight. Can we launch something here? Callum Chambers back to Livakovic. I thought that was going straight to their attacker. It looks as though they may have changed their formation and gone 2 up top as well. You know what I'm thinking here? I wonder if we do away with the counter press. I wonder if we're sort of getting sucked into the ball by counter-pressing. We'll wait and see how this highlight develops, because it won't change anything till after it anyway. Oh, no. Okay, let's do that. Let's just regroup. I'm beginning to wonder if counter-press is actually, unless you're a really, really, like, we're going to win the league sort of team, or that, you know, our goal is this year is to win the league, if counter-press isn't what you should be doing. Because I think you just sort of get sucked into the ball doing that, and then the teams can sort of pass around you. Now, this is 85th minute. Come on, boys, let's win that back high up the field. We're not counter-pressing anymore, so we're less likely to do that, of course. Ball goes long, it goes over. It should be easy. Oh, Ayer's missed a sitter. No, Livakovic. What a save from Livakovic. Now, I've just had a brainwave of what we can do here, because we do have Ayer in defence, which means we can actually, Ben Godfrey can play there as well, so we might not even need to change too much around. What we can do is we can just pop him back in there. It's defensive midfielder, just get that shield going, Liking this. We might even look to send... Can Cochrane go box to box? Just as a regular midfielder then. That works. We'll play him as a anchor man or a half-back. I don't mind him as a half-back, actually. That works. And we haven't seen much of Ben Godfrey. Mainly because Coetzee was playing okay, and then we brought AR in to try and get a more attacking midfield. We dropped AR back into defence. Pause that, please. We're into stoppage time here. And so he just hasn't really played as much as I initially thought he would do when we signed him. The same for that, to be honest, goes with Mason Holgate. We've barely seen him. And I don't know, the main reason for that is just that the players that we've had in have been doing okay. Defensively, we've looked fine for the most part of the year. So it's just been a case of sort of keeping players in there that are playing well. We don't really have enough gains to rotate that much. Here's Nick Roberts. Can he get another assist? It's a decent cross in, but there's no one at the back post. That should be the game. We've done really well there. We have come behind come from behind and really won a game we deserved to win, I think, in the end. Few nervous moments in there, though, weren't there? That wasn't as comfortable, perhaps, as we would have liked. But we'll give them a little bit of, we've done well to come back and win that. Well done. So there we go, in control of their brushed aside. That's a little bit generous to us, I think. It was very much a very tight game. Botheim, he's a wonder kid, old Eric Botheim now. Look at that. What a signing he could prove to be. If he does actually end up becoming a wonder kid, or developing from a wonder kid, we signed him for what? 875 grand, a wonder kid. That could be, or that could prove to be, as we go on in our little journey here, quite the signing. Marin shines. It was that free kick, wasn't it, that just got us back going again. So that was more important than just the one goal, that one, I think. I think that was essentially worth 2 goals. But guys, that is it for this episode. Just goals of the month to come. We've scored goals. We can have a goals of the month. It's just happy days, isn't it? Now, we have played a game more than those around us, but Arsenal are only 4 points ahead of us now as well. So, yeah, interesting times. It's like the Europa League last year, so it's just dangling there. But I think we need to stay focused and just make sure we're trying to get into the Europa League next year. But the big difference, look at that, only 3 draws this year, and they're against, 2 of them are against Chelsea and Arsenal, so they're good draws too. Some of these losses aren't so good, but there you go. Man, City have smashed us twice, 7-1 over the 2 games, look at that. But yeah, that's what I said last year, wasn't it? If we can eliminate those draws, and we'll be a good team. And look at this, we're eliminating draws. We've had equal least draws in the league this year. That's quite the change, isn't it? But we're really showing the benefits of that. But as I said, guys, just goals a month to come. We'll be back on Thursday for... We'll aim to come back at the end of the month, West Ham and Brentford. Now, if we do get past Wolves in the FA Cup, there should be a 4th round game in here somewhere. So we'll sort of show the FA Cup and one other. But guys, that's it for today. As I said, if you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Welcome, of course. Subscribe if you're new. Leave comments. Leave your tributes for the great Miller Jedinak, of course, announcing his retirement this episode. But until Thursday, guys, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. And here are our goals of the month. We have one for December. Take care.